Ready?
Go on.
All right. I want to hear about Pearl Harbor. How did the day start?
Well, shall I tell the first part? Because I was the first.
You tell
one.
the first part.
Well, we both heard lots of airplanes going over our house, but we were used to that because we lived close to Fort Island. You know, our own Navy planes going over. But all of a sudden, I said, you know, Reuben said to me, "Oh, just come back to bed." You know, now this is in the December 7th in the morning.
Like early.
Early. Come back to bed, he said. No, I said, I'm already ready and we gotta go throw away the garbage today. That's all that was on my mind was that.
What
we had to-
weekday?
Huh?
What weekday? Like a Sunday?
Sunday, December 7th, 1941. And so I said, let's get the garbage out, Reuben. Come back to bed, he kept saying. And, you know, he says, come on back. We gotta cuddle some more. You know.
He had his priorities in order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds like something he'd say.
So I said, you know, I don't think, I better look out and see what those airplanes are doing. I said, there's so many of them. Also, there was a lot of noise. I could hear the big boom, 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 you know. And so I opened the window out and looked out, and I said, Reuben, I said, they have red dots on them. And all of a sudden, I felt the back of my neck of my jacket pulled back and thrown back onto the bed. And I was laughing, and I thought, he said, Japs! And I was laughing because I thought he still wanted me back in bed. I'm only telling you this because you're family.
Right.
You know?
Right. It's just you and me and the wall. Okay.
So anyway, and so he says, Jeps, now again, I was already in my little house coat. So when he said Jeps, he got out of the bed and went for the closet to get dressed. And I was already dressed, so I ran outside to see better. What could I see? Well, I could see this. We had across the street, on the main street, we were like the next house to the house on the corner. So I could see the smoke, and I could hear the bombing. And all of a sudden, here comes another airplane. Well, I stood there and I looked at him, you know, it was just like, you want to see what's going on. And as I looked up at him, I saw the rear gunner with a big machine gun shooting at me, just going away like this. Just shooting and just
50 caliber.
50 calibers. Thank God, and my guardian angel were with me that day because not one, I could feel him hitting the lawn where I was standing around me.
You were strafed.
He was strafing me, yeah. And so I was probably part of the first.
They had a lot of bullet holes in the house,
So
coming down to the ceiling, down to the floor.
Bullet holes through the roof and into the house.
Yeah, he
So
was
I-
strafing everything.
when I walked in the house, he told me, get in here, you know, so I did. Well, yeah, this is kind of serious with strafing. But I saw the airplane leave. They were flying very low, just above the tree. So I could see his face, about as good as I see yours now.
The face of the pilot?
No, of
Of the gunner.
Of the Jap?
Yeah, and his band with a red dot on it. I could see him. So as I ran back in the house, I said, what's happened here, you dirty people? I says, you got dirt all over. There's a sawdust everywhere. You know, in my clean, pretty little house at that time. And I says, there's sawdust all over. Well, we realized that we were full of bullets. When he was strafing me, he was strafing the house too, and all around the area. Well, now, Reuben went off.
That's when you declared war.
So then when,
Didn't know yet.
so I'm just telling you what was happening at that thing. So then Reuben said, well, let's go down to the beach. Let's get in the car. Go ahead, you tell it from there.
Take it, Reuben.
What?
What happened then?
We got in the car,
Yeah,
we drove down to the end of the peninsula, which is right across from Ford Island. And when we got down near the beach, on the Naval Air Station is on our side of the Ford Island. You can see the PBYs and everything blowing up.
What's a PBY?
The big
Airplane.
2-engine
Our
Navies.
planes.
Yeah, the airplanes. They were strafing and bombing any aircraft around. And so I says, well, this is no place for us. We jumped in the car and went back to the house.
no, that was not how it was. As we stood there, we could see one of the ships right in front of us as it turned over.
Which one?
The Nevada, I think it was.
The Nevada.
I think it was. I have to look it up again. Or maybe it was.
So you're still just in shock. You don't know what to
shot,
think.
Yeah. Then we heard
Hard to
people
believe.
yell at the guy up and down the beach saying, everybody in the service report back to your base. So that's when Reuben, go ahead, now you take it.
Like over a loudspeaker.
No,
There's-
just yelling out right along
Just
the
yelling.
beach, just like I would be yelling, you know.
Yeah, we lived about 5-6 miles from the base, Eva Marine Base. And when I got there,
So you're already in your uniform.
No,
no, just
civilian
fatigues,
clothes?
Yeah. And some guys jumped out from out of the brush with rifles and they said, "Get out of the car." So this friend that lived with us, he was alone. We jumped out, and of course they recognized us right away. And so we went into the base, and what a shambles. Every one of our planes was burning. They had just come down strafed. You know, they had a field day, you know. Our planes were nicely lined up. So we didn't have a single plane able to fly. And so we said, well, what do we do now? You know, nobody had any idea what to do, so I got a couple guys with me and we went into the ordnance tent and pulled out a box that says Browning submachine gun, model 1912 or something. Used in World War I. So we pulled that out and we sat there for a couple hours cleaning that gun and putting it together.
Just not knowing if you're going to have to shoot
Yeah.
troops. Like
They had all the planes
They
had
didn't have
left.
any armament.
The first
They
wave
had
left, right?
Rifles around, you know, but what good are they?